All right, here we go. Let's add a little flair to our playing, right? We're in the key of D, so here we go. All right, like everything, it can look really overwhelming. It definitely makes you look cool, right? People will be, your next party or wherever you are, people are going to go, who is this guy? Who is that girl? Right? Okay, but like everything, it can be made to look really complicated, but it's pretty simple. And we're going to go through it, right? And then we're going to look at the theory behind it so that we can continue on and do other things on the fretboard. All right? But first, thank you so much for your ongoing support. And if you like this video or any of the other ones, please hit the like button. In some bizarrely extreme weird way, this helps me by, I think, letting them know that I'm a somebody, even though I'm a nobody, right? Okay? And if you think I can help you break things down on the guitar, make your journey easier, or get you started at any age, all right, 50, 60, 70, it really doesn't matter, then hit subscribe and come along, check out some of my library, and I know there's stuff in there that can help you out if it already hasn't, and there's a lot more stuff coming. So here we go. Let's take a look at what we did. So we're in the key of D, so we started on a D note. Now that's not overly important where I start, because people aren't going to really remember the opening note, but it's definitely important on the last note of the riff, because we're going to use that to segue into the D chord. So we want to make sure that we end on the D note and go into a D chord, right? But by starting off in the same, it just makes it well-rounded, okay? So we're going to start, everything here is going to be on the first string until we run out of string, or run out of frets here, I should say, and then we're going to just move up to that second string and play a few notes on the second string to end the riff. So it's going to start on D, and we're going to start with a pick and a slide to the E and back to the D. So, okay? So while it's still ringing out, you just slide to the E and back and pluck it again. Right? And then again with the pointer always leads, okay? The pointer is then going to go to the B note, and then using my ring finger 2 frets up, I'm going to play the B, C sharp, and back to the B. And then this will repeat. We'll go down 2 and play A, B, A. You can hear the descending melody now. G, A, G, F, G, F. Up to the C, D, slide to the E, and back to the D. Remember how we started? D, slid to the E, and back to the D? Well, that's how we're ending. Okay? So now we've gone from D here to D here. Now, we could end it there. No problem. And we go right into our D chord. Play whatever song. She walked her dog down the street one day. Whatever the song may be, all right? Or using some information and videos that we've already gone through, right, already learned, we could do some, well, we can just keep it going, because you don't have to play chords after all to play the guitar, right? So we can start, we're on our root of D, and we don't want to go to a chord yet. So think about what we can do. There's many things, and once you've got your guitar foundation built and your mind isn't racing and you're so overly concentrated on fretting the notes and strumming, we're free of that now because we've built a good guitar foundation. So now our mind can think of other things. So my mind is thinking, where can I take this little riff, right? So I end on the root of D. So think about it. Okay, we could build, remember, a 4-note box off of the root of D. So we could go D, E, and then 1 string down will be my G and A, 2 frets up. So now I got that, and I could probably slide and grab that B and come back and end on the root. As long as I start and end on the root, I'm going to sound amazing. So let's look at what we got now. So we tie it together. we can go somewhere else on a D. So maybe we'll try this D here. Play the same box. Try this D here. Start and end on the D, right? We got here. Now we can go into a chord again. So we can, anywhere we play and see a D and play a 2-note or a 4-note box, as long as we end on that root of D, on that note, we can go to any chord at any time and break into a chord progression. Okay? So let's see how that would work, right? If we just kind of noodled around. So okay? As long as we end on that note, the root note of the chord we want to start with, it's going to sound mint. It's all going to flow together, right? And of course, we can endlessly noodle around the fretboard. Like, remember the analogy of taking your car downtown? As long as you know where you're going, you could drive for hours. As long as you know where to turn and where not to turn. Okay? It's the same thing on the fretboard. As long as I know that I'm going to start on a D, okay, and end on a D, I can really go anywhere. As long as I start and end on a D, okay? I could go, I could do something like an open D, right? There's my D, E right there. D, E. Right? So there's so many things I can do. And once you have your guitar foundation in place and it frees up your mind, okay? Remember, I don't want to memorize things anymore. I don't want to have to do mathematical equations and think about things like that. I want to just be able to play. So if all I have to think about is where's my next D coming from, okay? No formulas, no magic tricks, no, oh, if you go 3 here, 2 there, 1 there, and back down to 2, you'll have, there's none of that. I just got to find the D, right? So as you continue to play your guitar post foundation building, right? The more you practice, all of a sudden, the first little while, you're going to have to stop and think about where your Ds are. But trust me, after a while, you're just going to know because of repetition, because of practice. You're just going to know that you got a D here, and you got a D here, and I got a D here, and I got a D here, and I got a D here. I mean, you're just going to know, right? And then you can incorporate things like the little 4-note boxes off of the root, which in this case would be the D. So anywhere you found a D, you know with confidence, I could play a little 4-note box, okay? I could play 2. Anyway, I could slide back and forth. I could finger it back and forth, okay? Again, I'm using only the 2 fingers here. That finger is not being used. Right? I could do that. And furthermore, when I run out of ideas, or maybe even get lost, and I don't know where my next D is going to be, I could just break into a D chord. Play a D chord for a while. Regain my composure. Okay? I'm back on my D root going on. So that's an easy way. I can also incorporate my all-purpose scale at any time. So if I was playing a D here, a little box, and I wanted to go somewhere after that, okay, I would just use my all-purpose scale and go to the octave, slide over, there's there's my root there, right? Because I used my all-purpose scale, 2 over, 2 down. So you can see how once you know where you are on the fretboard, once you've built that guitar foundation, and all you have to do is play. Okay? You're not thinking of anything else. You're just thinking of where's my next D. And if I get into trouble, I can play a D chord at any time. Okay? So have fun with the lick, the little riff there. It's really cool. Make it your own. Make it sound great. Okay? But more importantly, where it ends is where I'd like you to begin. So when you come to that ending here, now it's up to you. And please, don't make it, it doesn't have to sound like music right now. Just think, okay, I'm on a D. What can I do? And just take it step by step. So the first night, just go, okay, so I'm ending here, so let's do raised 4-note Bach. That's it. So now what does it sound like? Right? We've already added to it. And then when you're comfortable with that, do what I suggested and jump to another D. Okay? All right. Questions, comments, suggestions, anything at all. All right? Love to hear from you. Thanks again for your support. It's all about the practice. Remember that, and we'll see you next time.